What's up, guys? Back in another recap. Do apologize, I didn't make a video yesterday, and I'm not going to be going over those trades today. As you can see, I've got absolutely smashed the past 2 days. It's been a long few days, lost a lot of money. Had to drive back from Seattle to Vancouver. Car broke down on the way. That was awesome. So I just got finished fixing that. You can see I'm dirty as hell. And I just didn't have time to make the video yesterday, and I took so many trades today. I don't want to go over the ones from yesterday too. It's going to end up being a 40-minute video, so we're just going to ignore that. But it did take $1,500 losses both days. Both days have just been a crazy shitstorm of news. There was obviously FOMC today, which we all knew about. That was not the problem. The problem was Trump was just going crazy all day again. And I took 3 break-evens today and 4 losses. So I just couldn't catch a break today. But yeah, as you guys probably could assume, 2 accounts are blown. This one's still looking alright. This one's not looking that great. And this one's looking alright. So still got room to work. I'm hoping we get a normal day tomorrow. I gotta decide whether I'm gonna continue with Top Step or not. If I want to switch up to 150Ks so I can take normal size payouts, but the rules are kind of iffy now on the 50 and 100Ks. So I don't know. I might switch firms. I might just run these accounts till they're gone and switch firms. So I don't know. I gotta make my mind up there. But let's get into this because it's already gonna be a long one. But like I said, today we had FOMC. So we knew that was coming at 11, and this was right before market open. So you can see we got a huge dump because Trump said oil companies are discussing steps to keep the blockade going for months, which was kind of crazy right before market open. It's like, bro, chill. We already have a shit ton of news today. Like, we don't need all this. So you can see coming into market open, we had this new day opening gap, which I did want to hit because we came very close to it. We left a few lows, left a few lows here, left a few lows or highs here and up here. We did have these 4-hour gaps as well up here, and we did inverse all the 4-hour gaps, or this little tiny one here down, and all the hourly gaps we did inverse as well to the downside. So we were looking super bearish. Obviously the Fed was expected to hold rates today, so again, bearish. It was Powell's last day, so everyone is expecting him to have kind of like a bearish tone, not be too happy. And I'll show you guys why I took trades at FOMC based off that. But I have no idea what the hell happened here. We did just randomly jump up like 310 points pre-Asia market, and we even left this like session opening gap here, which is like kind of crazy. I guess that would be a breakaway gap, but some weird shit going on, man. The market has been fucking chopped the past 2 days. I'm not blaming it on that. I still definitely overtraded, but hasn't been easy, that's for sure. So first trade I took, we were coming into market open right about here, and we had, like I said, inversed all the higher time frame gaps. We had inversed this 15-minute here, and it was looking like a really good pre-market setup, and it was. Unfortunately, I didn't take the pre-market setup like I should have, which would have been down to this Asia low here and stops at this high. I would have caught almost a 1 to 2. Unfortunately, I waited till market opens. And I forgot to mention, I did take a $100 loss trading Asia the day before, so I was already down $120 or whatever. But we do get that 50-minute inversion, tap back up into 1 minute. That would be a great entry right there. But like I said, I waited towards market open, and we opened up down here, and we did end up getting this last 1 minute inversion. Problem was, we had already taken these lows, but we did leave equal lows at Asia, right? So I knew we were going to at least hit that. That was my break-even point. And I did take a short about right here on this candle. I caught in about halfway, and I should have entered up here. This is gonna be my break even. I didn't get in fast enough, so I didn't go break even right away, which was super risky, but I was just targeting down to this next low, which did get somewhat close to hitting, and I ended up taking a very, very, very small loss. I think I got probably a little bit lower of an entry. Right there on that candle, I took an $80 loss, so essentially a break even on this one. And this trade wasn't great in my opinion, but wasn't bad. Just very risky right at market open. A little bit of gambling. Did go a good amount into profit. Went 50 points into profit, so added some positions, whatnot. I was up a decent amount, didn't cash out. And I don't really understand why we reversed here. There's nothing that really signified getting a reversal, other than the fact that we tapped into this hourly gap here, but we didn't even tap into this lower one yet, right? So I don't know. I figured we were at least going to hit that gap. We didn't, but that's okay. We did get a bit more news right after, and after that, which didn't have that big of an impact, but we did get a lot more news as the day went on. And the next trade was before all that news, so that didn't really affect it, but you can just see the market, man. Like, look at this on the 1 minute, just up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, all driven off news, right? Obviously, FOMC days are notoriously choppy, so it was somewhat expected, but still kind of blows. And I did take this next trade, was a long, because we did tap into that hourly gap. We had swept those two lows. This was the best trade of the day in my opinion. You get a 3-minute inversion here. The only thing I didn't wait for was the 5-minute inversion. That didn't close until 6. Oh no, sorry, I did wait for the 5-minute inversion. I got in at 6:51. So got in at this 5-minute inversion here. This was the trade of the day in my opinion. I really like this trade. I did end up getting a very, very harsh break even, unfortunately. I had my stops very wide. I know my buddy who I trade with didn't, and he got stopped out right here, unfortunately. But if you had your stops below this 1 minute gap, you were fine. And I targeted up to these, I believe, London highs. And I added so much on the way up. I was up about $1,200 on this trade. Obviously, that would have put me up 1,000. I didn't cash out, and I ended up actually somehow going break even on this trade all the way here, because obviously I added position, so it moved my entry up to there. And that was probably one of the most painful break evens I've ever had, man, because that was just a perfect trade, and I caught from entry up to here 100 points, right? And we missed TP by like a ball hair, missed TP by 1.5 points, and I got fucking break even. In all realness, if I was sitting at my computer, I'm gonna cash that. Told anyone who's been watching this channel for a long time, I work a job while I trade, so in situations like this I'll get fried. It is what it is. Until I'm able to quit my job or get a night job, I'm just gonna get fucked on trades like these. So I always just make sure I'm break even, so if my phone's off I get break even. But in this case I should have cashed. That didn't happen, so that was another break even. I'm still down 200. Did take another long after we got a retrace into this 15-minute gap, kind of a continuation trade. We retraced into this gap here, and I did like this trade as well. If you missed the first one, we retrace in this 15-minute gap, get a very strong V-shaped 1 minute IFVG out of here, and I do think this is a good trade. Going high risk on this, I don't think exactly would have been a great plan, but again, it's targeting up to these London highs. And again, added a few positions, not a crazy amount on this one, but I ended up getting stopped out break even on this wick right here. Out of nowhere, we just get this big ass wick, and I believe that had something to do with, there's some sort of news. This is what caused it right here. I don't know why that's bearish, but we got that big wick right when this came out. And yeah, that kind of pissed me off because again, I was a good amount in profit and then we kept riding up a little bit. Again, I could have cashed. Didn't, ended up getting break even on that wick. And again, we're still down $200. So after that, Trump kind of started talking, but that was on this next trade here. Ended up taking a long on another continuation. Like, I was just so dead set on hitting those London highs. Really fucked me over. But again, we tap into, I believe, sorry guys, it's very, very choppy. But we tapped into this 5-minute gap now. And this wasn't a great trade because we did not inverse this 5-minute. So we were kind of between ranges. And I kind of just FOMO entered this one, to be honest. And I got in like in a really shitty spot. This like went right to my stop loss basically. Got in right here. And, or sorry, I got in, sorry guys, I got so many fucking trades today, it's killing me. I got in right after I got stopped out, that's what happened, on that wick, because I was pissed off about that. But like I said, I failed to realize we didn't inverse this last 5-minute, and this one took me out pretty damn fast. Right here, I had my stop below this 5-minute right here. This was a 1-to-1, and I was gonna make like fuck all on this trade. And I lost $250. Would have only made $250, so I pretty much would have been break even on the day. All I was going for at this point. And like I said, this was just continuation trade, garbage, bullshit, stupid entry. Ignore that one. The first two longs I showed you were good trades, in my opinion. If you didn't add positions, you would have cashed decently. Wouldn't have hit full TP, but still pretty good. And that was it for New York AM for me. So I'm down $450. That last trade there blew my 2 accounts. And I only traded these next few trades on my 3 other accounts. But as you can see, we started to build some bearish structure. Obviously, I waited till Powell started, or didn't start talking, but rate cuts did come out here. And it's hard to see through the chop, but we were trading into this fair value gap here at 13, so we hadn't made it down there yet. And where am I looking right now? Right here. So this is when rate cuts dropped. This is going to be our data high. And of course it held, like that's what we were all expecting. So I was pretty much ready to get into a short right away. Obviously didn't want to gamble right at FOMC open, but we did get a very nice 5-minute inversion. And like I said, we are still holding that 5-minute gap I showed you guys before. And sorry guys, this is very ugly to look at, but this was a good trade as well. Unfortunately, I held it too long, but the market was moving super fast, as you can expect, around rate cut times. I did get in right here, which was a very nice entry, and I was just targeting down to this low, and I got stopped out on this one not too long after. again, I added positions. That was just killing me today. So I ended up taking a $400 loss on this one when I really should have only took like a break even or maybe 100 or two. But I ended up taking a 400 loss right there. And like I said, we got the 5-minute inversion. We had obviously swept out a lot of liquidity on the way up, tapped into a lot of higher time frame gaps. This was a good trade. Again, all you had to do was just target to this low or this low and taking profit a little bit earlier, and you would have hit a very nice trade. Unfortunately for me, that wasn't the case. And as soon as we hit 11:10, this happened, which dumped us. Obviously, that was the rate cuts and a bunch of other shit. And right about here, I don't know why, again, this pumped us, but Fed said it's going to rate hike by April 2027. That was up 5%, so I don't really understand why that's bullish, but apparently it is. And then right after that, Putin says he's going to talk about a ceasefire, which obviously is bullish. So we just pumped like crazy after that. Powell hadn't even started talking at this point. Blew right through my stop loss. But yeah, that was that. I did end up getting in another short, which was stupid. But I was just expecting basically bearish news, right? With Powell, like everything that was going on, it was super bearish. We tapped into this 5-minute. And again, I'm sorry guys, this is really messy today. This is not going to be a great video. But I did take another short right as we tapped into that 5-minute right here. And again, not a bad trade. I just got fucking bullshitted around. I probably got in right about here, to be honest with you. And at this point, I'm down for 850. And this one ended up being a break even right there. And my stops were just above the data high in case we swept it. Again, targeting down here. Bit of a push, in my opinion. But I did go break even on this one. Basically, as soon as Powell started talking, we pushed up to the data high, which isn't uncommon. That just is what it is. This didn't help either. I don't really understand what that means, but it was bullish apparently. And Trump was saying more shit. Like, Trump just wouldn't shut up all day, man, about Hormuz and oil and rate cuts and OPEC and all this shit. And then he says Iran has come a long way while Powell's talking. Like, bro, chill. Like, we already got enough fucking going on. Like, just shut up for a little bit. And he says this, and we just pump right up, right there, 1132, right where he said it. Blows to my break even. Again, scummed. So still down $850. We've now taken the data high. And I got in along such a FOMO entry. This was a horrible trade. Right here. And we got obviously this wick down and gave me a retrace entry in this fair value gap. And this one did not last long at all. I was just basically just trading off the back of news. But this one stopped me out right there. So that was a $600 loss. Entered way too early on that one. If I would have entered down here, I would have smacked TP. But as you can tell, I took way too many trades today. I was not in the right headspace. I shouldn't have been trading. And although this mechanically looks like a good setup, it was garbage, and I paid for it. And it did hit full TP, but I entered way too early, got stopped out, and that was that for the day. Down $1,500, and that was it. So yeah, I don't know what the fuck just happened here. Looks like there's a bunch of, I mean, it's just all Powell talking and whatnot, but I guess these were, oh, the earnings came out, so that's why we pumped so hard. I thought they were supposed to come out later, but and then Trump also told Netanyahu to chill. So yeah, lots of news gave us this breakaway gap, so that will be a decent thing to target if we do get back down. But we are looking super bullish now. I believe we are back to all-time highs as we speak. So crazy fucking day, man. Hopefully this shit doesn't keep up, but yeah. Sorry guys about missing yesterday's video and today's choppy ass video. I will be better because I need to be. I can't keep trading like this. It's not going to end well. But it's already been a long one, so I'm going to wrap this one up here. Hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe as usual, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.